Benue Northwest Senatorial District. My distinguished colleagues, this bill, for me, appears overambitious. It is ill-timed, and I think we are rushing too quickly towards e-business. Ours is a growing economy, and indeed, majority of Nigerians reside in the rural areas. So when you bring a legal framework in place that conflicts with the interests of majority of Nigerians, I don't think we are being democratic enough. So I would rather suggest that we should be encouraged to learn more of e-commerce than putting it into our law books as a mandatory means of transaction. Mr. President, that is my observation. Thank you very much.
Distinguished Senator Naida, you are also opposed to it?
Affording me this opportunity. Senator Naida Imaso, Edo South Senatorial District. My problem with this bill is not that we shouldn't support it, but the problem is that today we are all using e-commerce already. It's already here, it's upon us. We're not going to run away from it. And the fact that it's going to be coded, that is made law, doesn't mean it's going to eliminate all other forms of transaction, not at all. But today, our data, I'm not sure our data, as those who use e-commerce, is well protected. And this is where the fear is. Because someone is captured today by somebody in the forest, and they ask the family to send money. Money goes through the banks. Yet, we are not able to trace that transaction. It's an illegal e-commerce. E-commerce is illegal. But we are not able to trace that amount of money or who takes that money. Yet, it goes through a bank. And so what I'm saying is that for us to begin to go seriously into e-banking, we have to, first of all, deal with the issues of security, data security. Who sends what and who gets what. And not until we are able to do that and seriously consider that, rushing into e-commerce business, as our climate says today, will not augur well for all of us. So I think we should cautiously work into this and look at the issue of securing us, those who using e-commerce, and the responsibility of the banks that will be in the forefront of this transaction. Thank you, Mr.
So you suggest that, Senator, I think it's ill time. If that's not what you said, say so.
Mr. President, what I'm saying is this: for us to go, whether it's e-time or not e-time, we're already using it. Every one of us has our debit cards or whatever it is. It's e-transaction. I don't carry money at all, personally. And so we're already using it. But this is an opportunity for us to go straight into the matter and see what these defects are that we can correct before we can full throttle go into it. That's what I'm saying.
So I asked you.
I associate myself completely with the views expressed by my distinguished brother, Senator Zam. I think, Mr. President, the issue is not whether e-commerce is desirable, but the laws we make must reflect the reality of our country. We can't make laws that the average Nigerians can't cope with. I think in most countries, you have minimum laws. You don't have to have law for everything. Insofar as e-commerce as is not illegal, there is no legal benefit to be derived by enacting this particular piece of legislation. And we have to be careful not to make too many laws that will have unintended consequences on the vast majority of our people. So I support the reasoning of my distinguished brother Zam and even my distinguished brother and comrade Neda that we don't need this law as at that time. I would want to use the word ill-time. But I would like to say the law is unnecessary at this point in time. Let us develop the system. Let us see how it operates on a voluntary basis. If you wish to use it, you use it. If you don't wish to use it, you don't have to, until we develop and enlighten our people and we have appropriate infrastructure in every hamlet in Nigeria. Our laws must not reflect the values of the elite. Our laws should reflect the reality of the vast majority of our people who at the present, due to gaps in our banking infrastructure, where you have somebody like me in my local government, we don't even have more than a bank. There are some local governments that they don't have banks at all. So I think we should allow things as they are. Let the bank do their job of enlightening people, of convincing people about the benefit of e-transaction, and at the same time, let the CBN do its best to encourage banks to expand more into rural areas and not concentrate where the elite reside, where they think they can get high net worth individuals, and in the process, excluding the vast majority of the Nigerian people. Thank you, Mr. President.
The intentment of this bill should not be misunderstood. And we are at the second reading. This bill, as distinguished Senator Adams said, cannot be called ill-timed because transaction electronically is going on. And there is no presence of specific law guiding such transaction. And there is the need to have a law in place. But even the topic as it is does not come out categorically, because you can't make law to just facilitate use of information. The law has to be definite. And this can be done at the public hearing when the bill is read the second time, so that during the public hearing, input will be received and it will be refined and it will be corrected, or even the topic or the name of the bill can be altered so that it serves the purpose for which it was intended. So I want to call on our colleagues and the Senate President, starting with you, to support this bill for the second time.
I don't know who would have been directing and shouting on me. Since you are starting with me, I will put the question. But let me expatiate. You said that the intent of this bill should not be misunderstood, and that if it is given the opportunity to go for a second reading, that at a public hearing, even the title will be streamlined for clarity, and that because we are already doing e-commerce, that it will facilitate transactions of businesses, and so the intent should not be misunderstood, and that everything will be smoothened and brought back before we go for the final reading. That's what they are saying. Distinguished colleagues, we've heard from both sides. Those who are in support of this bill going for second reading, say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. So the clerk of the Senate.